This time on Jason Does Stuff, it's dig day. We got the excavator and the skid steer out and a crew of guys putting a hole in the backyard. So we're going to walk you through digging the pool, shoveling the dirt, and getting the rebar in this thing. So stick around and enjoy. That's me in there, so that's why it's going a little slower than normal. But hey, I only hit the gate a couple times. It's not a pool digging party without a cowboy hat. Here she is all steeled up. So I didn't get any great footage of the rebar action, but you can see the spoils. So all the rebar is in a 10-inch by 10-inch grid, and that grid runs all the way through. The perimeter has a double bar at the top for extra strength for what we call the pool beam. You can see our +6, +12, +18 raised areas in the back. And I added these double stacked 2x4s in the backs there. And I did that so that when they shoot the concrete, that will create a box out for our pipe. So we can recess the pipe for the waterfall in the wall, skim over the back of it, and then you'll never see it instead of having it show on the back side of the pool, which looks tacky. I pulled strings to show the thickness of the pool walls. That'll help the concrete crew when they come in and shoot this thing. So you can see this back wall I've got set up at 10 inches wide. All the others are set up at 8 inches wide. That one's taller because it's thicker because it's taller. I wanted the extra strength, plus it'll look better and beefier seeing the thickened edge. We got pegboard up all around in front of the spa that they'll use. It's basically a backstop, so when they're shooting the concrete, you'll see tomorrow, that'll give them something to shoot against. They'll strip it and then they'll shoot the inside and clean it all up and trowel it smooth. But she's looking good. We got our piping in here. This is going to be an LED lit bubbler that shoots water up from the bottom there. We've got these 4 nozzles in the floor are going to be floor returns. I am going to heat the spa, and in return I can also heat the pool with that same heater, and it's much more efficient to heat from the bottom up. So we're going to put those floor returns in, and they'll have fittings on them that look nice and pretty on the bottom, so that when I heat, I can heat from the bottom and all that warm water will rise to the surface. There'll also be a bunch of returns and fittings around the walls as well, but those don't need to be plumbed. Those are actually going to get cored in when we shoot the concrete. They'll just leave voids for them, and the plumbers will come and pipe through them and waterproof them later. You can see the pipes terminating on the outsides of the pool for those returns. So it's just boom, boom, and out. Boom, boom, and out. Main drain down in the deep end there, you can see, is plumbed both middle ports running up. And there's 2 pipes. One's kind of hidden behind those forms. But you can see those. That's for the main drains. That's going to run 1 to each pump. I'm going to have a pump for the pool, circulation and filtering, and then I'm going to have another for all the water features, the 3 waterfalls, the bubbler, and possibly some deck jets. In the spa, same thing, main drain, 2 lines coming out. One's going to be the suction line for it. The other I'm going to reduce down, and that's actually going to be a return, and that's going to allow water to fill the spa when I'm in pool mode and overflow over a weir wall here. These 2 lines are the air and water for the spa jets. Air and water mixes in these nozzles, which get shot into the wall. So you get a nice, therapy jet action coming out. So the air and water mixes at each of the 6 jets that we've got in here. That other pipe that's capped about halfway down is for the light for the spa. Since this is going to have a bench that's really thick in here, it's hard to core that one in, so we pre-plumb that prior. That'll be the light, and that'll get reduced down to 1 inch later, and then a light will be installed. But it's looking good. We did have some cave-ins from the dig, but that's what the pegboard will do. That way we're not filling this entire area with concrete, which would be, that's probably an extra, I don't know, that's maybe at least an extra, probably 1.5 yards of concrete, 2 yards with all these voids. Concrete's like $350 a yard, so saving us $700 just by putting up about $100 in pegboard. So that helps. You see the thickness of this wall running down as well with that string. It's gonna look good. It's gonna be just the right size. It's gonna come together really well. Tomorrow morning, concrete happens, and that'll be exciting. So let me know what you guys think. It's coming along. I think it looks really good. We still got some more work to do. We got a long way to go, but come tomorrow, this thing's gonna look like a pool. Get your skateboards ready, because we're gonna have a shell. Couple things to note here. We did have to pass a county inspection for the steel. I passed that the other day. They come out and make sure all these rebar grids are the appropriate size. They also check to make sure that the steel is jacked up off the ground, so you have a minimum of 2 inches on either side for concrete. Actually, that's 3 inches of room on each side for concrete. So we've got that bricked up to make that difference. We've got the rock in the bottom in case it rains, just to help us as like a French drain. They also come in, they check all these pipes to make sure they're what we call static tested. So we fill them all up with water to the very top. You can also put a pressure rig on them and pressurize them through a hose bib. But you put water in them, the inspector comes and makes sure the pipes are still full of water. In theory, that means you have no leaks. If they don't leak under static pressure, they're probably not going to leak under pressure. But if you're really concerned, you put a pressure rig on there, have your builder put a pressure rig on it, and that way you can be really sure that these things will hold, 35 pounds. It's my pool, I'm the builder. I saw the glue joints, I trust the glue joints. I didn't make them do the rigs on it, but I'm okay with it. And hey, will we regret it later? We'll find out. I'm really excited for the LED bubbler. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Ellie's gonna love that. This area, the shelf, is gonna be set at about 7 inches of water depth, and it'll be 10 inches to the top of the beam, because you'll have 3 inches of your exposed tile on the edges showing. But 7 inches of water is just enough to sit in, get your butt wet, play, splash around in. Put a lounge chair in, because this area is plenty big enough for that. But the kids can play in it. It's kind of their little fun zone. And then the adults get all the rest of the pool. Full length bench across the back, because that's where you're going to hang out. A couple recommendations I'd give you if you're doing your own pool. Do the sun shelf. It does get used. Plus it looks nice. You put the bubblers in there. It's a nice, cool little feature and not that expensive to add. Couple of the crews charge extra for stealing the sun shelf, for instance. The concrete crew charges a little extra, but honestly, for a few $100s more, you get a sun shelf. For a couple hundred on top of that, you can get a bubbler. For about $1,000 extra, $1,000 to $1,200, you can get an LED bubbler, which is what I opted for. But all in all, it can be a cheap option. The raised wall in the back, also a fairly cost-effective option, depending on, how big the wall is, how thick the wall is, what's going in it will flex that price a lot. But all in all, you could really do, most people will do like a 4 or 5 foot long raised beam with one waterfall, like a 3 foot waterfall in it. And you could do that for a few $100s extra. Plus the waterfall, you're going to spend probably about $800 on that for the plumbing and the fall itself. But so for a little over $1,000, you can have a nice little feature. Mine, of course, is full pool length. It goes 6 inches to 12 inches to 18 and has 3 waterfalls. So that's a several $1,000 ad that I'm putting on there. But for me, it's worth it. It's going to be a great visual. It's going to be really cool to look at that through the sliding glass doors from the living room, and also my office window, which is right over here in that little nook. That's going to look out right at this last waterfall and the spa. So that's going to be cool. It's worth it to me. The spa is going to have a spillover that spills out the middle. The longer and wider that is, the higher your spa is raised, the more that's going to add cost as well. But again, for me, it was worth it, raising it 18 inches, having that effect. But to each his own. You can do a cheap pool. Well, I say cheap. You can make it more cost effective. But they can also be really expensive. adding a spa at all is going to run you, depending on who you got building your pool, $20,000 to $30,000 adding a spa. I'm not spending that because I'm doing a lot of this myself. I'm calling in favors. You know, I'm not getting the same price that everybody's going to get. But $20,000 is about spot on for adding a spa to a pool, depending on the size. The pool itself, a pool this size in this market here in Florida, with the pool, this is probably like a $65,000 pool. That's probably a $20,000 spa. So, you know, with the waterfalls, with the sun shelf, with the bubbler, with the heat pump we're putting on it, this is probably $110,000 project. And with the pavers that I'm going to put in it, it's probably going to be like a $130,000 pool if I were paying retail costs. That's a big chunk of change. My house was only $200,000, so my outdoor scape is going to be about what my whole house was. But obviously, I'm not paying that. So I will get a good return on my investment. It'll raise my property value a lot. But if you're really trying to do this solely as a incentive to help sell your house, you're not going to get that full money back. Don't look at it as an investment for a house you're flipping. No one's going to say, oh, there's a pool in the back, here's an extra $100,000. Will it help? Certainly. Will it add $30,000, $40,000 to your home price? Yes. But today's market, do it if you want to enjoy it. Don't do it strictly as an investment. We're planning on being here the long haul, so for us it's worth it. And we're going to enjoy it, hopefully, for years and years to come. But hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, if you want me to get in specific on anything else, just let me know. I can dig deep. You can send me a message. We can do some other videos if I get a couple questions on it. Happy to help people. Happy to answer questions, because this is kind of my second passion, right? The cars and trucks that I bring home all rusted and falling apart, that's kind of got my heart a special way. But I love what I do. I like helping people. The big thing is, it's not just about making the pool. It's about putting something in somebody's backyard so that when their kids get a little older and they start going out and hanging out with their friends, you don't know what they're doing and you're not spending time with them. But if you make your house the fun place to be for your kids and your kids' friends to come over, A, it's a controlled, safe environment. You know what's going on. But B, you get to share in more memories with your kids. You get to do the cookouts and the pool parties, and they want to be here. They want to spend time. And that's really what it's all about, is it's going to bring my family closer together. We're going to have a lot of memories. We're going to have a lot of fun in this thing. And I get to do that for a whole lot of families every year. And there's ways to go about it that can be cost effective. You can cater a pool to a particular person, to a particular client. If they got kids, add the sun shelf, add bubblers, add deck jets. If they're handicapped, you can do beach entry. If it's for therapy, you could do lap lanes or put in a swim tether or a Badu system that you can swim against a jet. There's a little bit of something for everybody. I'm happy to help anybody that's interested in this process. This is really just a taste of it. This is more for fun for you guys to see it. But if you really want to dig deep, let me know. And if you like the video, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Hope you guys like this video. We'll catch you next time when we do more stuff.